Calculate the output voltage for this circuit when V1 2.5 V and V2 2.25 V. A 5.25 V. B 2.5 V. C 2.25 V. D 5.25 V. The correct answer is 5.25 V. Calculate the output voltage if V1 0.2 V and V2 0 V. A 0 V. B 6.6 V. C 4 V. D 2 V. The correct answer is 2 V. A number of op-amp stages can be used to provide separate gains. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. Determine the output voltage when V1 V2 1 V. A 0 V. B 2 V. C 1 V. D 2 V. The correct answer is 2 V. How many op-amps are required to implement this equation? A 2. B 3. C 4. D 1. The correct answer is 1. Calculate the output voltage if V1 V2 0.15 V. A 0 V. B 4.65 V. C 6.45 V. D 6.45 V. The correct answer is 6.45 V. Determine the output voltage for this circuit with a sinusoidal input of 2.5 mV. A 0.25 V. B 0.125 V. C 0.25 V. D 0.125 V. The correct answer is 0.125 V. Determine the output voltage when V1 V2 1 V. A 0 V. B 2 V. C 1 V. D 2 V. The correct answer is 0 V. How many op-amps are required to implement this equation? A 2. B 3. C 4. D 1. The correct answer is 2. Calculate the input voltage if the final output is 10.08 V. A 1.05 V. B 0.525 V. C 0.168 V. D 4.2 V. The correct answer is 0.168 V. Calculate the output of the first stage op-amp when V1 25 mV. A 1.05 V. B 0.075 V. C 0.06 V. D 4.2 V. The correct answer is 0.075 V. How many op-amps are required to implement this equation? A 2. B 3. C 4. D 1. The correct answer is 1. Calculate the output voltage if V1 V2 700 mV. A 0 V. B 12 V. C 12 V. D 8 V. The correct answer is 0 V. Calculate the cutoff frequencies of a bandpass filter with R1 R2 5K and C1 C2 0.1 F. A FOL 318.3 Hz, FO 318.3 Hz. B FOL 636.6 Hz, FO 636.6 Hz. C FOL 318.3 Hz, FO 636.6 Hz. D FOL 636.6 Hz, FO 318.3 Hz. The correct answer is FOL 318.3 Hz, FO 318.3 Hz. Calculate the output voltage if V1 300 mV and V2 700 mV. A 0 V. B 12 V. C 12 V. D 4 V. The correct answer is 4 V. Calculate the output voltage. A 6.00 mV. B 6.0 mV. C 6.12 mV. D 6.12 MV. The correct answer is 6.12 MV. This circuit is an example of an A DC voltmeter, B display driver, C instrumentation amplifier, D none of the above. The correct answer is instrumentation amplifier. Determine the value of RF assuming that all have the same value. A 500K, B 50K, C 25K, D 5K. The correct answer is 50K. Calculate the input voltage for this circuit if VO 11V, A 1.1V, B 1.1V, C 1V, D 1V. The correct answer is 1.1V. Calculate the input voltage when VO 11V, A 1.1V, B 1.1V, C 1V, D 1V. The correct answer is 1V. Calculate the output voltage. A 3.02V, B 2.03V, C 1.78V, D 1.50V. The correct answer is 3.02V. Calculate the output of the second stage op-amp if V 125 MV, A 0.075V, B 0.525V, C 0.06V, D 4.2V. The correct answer is 0.075V. A difference between a passive filter and an active filter is that a passive filter uses amplifiers but an active filter does not. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. Calculate the output voltage VO if V1 V2 300 MV, A 0V, B 6V, C 6V, D 8V. The correct answer is 6V. Calculate IL for this circuit. A 3 mA, B 4 mA, C 5 mA, D 6 mA. The correct answer is 5 mA. Calculate the output voltage if V1 3.3V and V2 0.8V, A 0V, B 6.6V, C 4V, D 2V. The correct answer is 6.6V. When a number of stages are connected in parallel, the overall gain is the product of the individual stage gains. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. Calculate the cutoff frequency of a first-order low-pass filter for R1 2.5K and C1 0.05 F. A 1.273 kHz, B 12.73 kHz, C 127.3 kHz, D 127.30 Hz. The correct answer is 1.273 kHz. A filter that provides a constant output from DC up to a cutoff frequency and passes no signal above that frequency is called a filter. A low pass, B high pass, C band pass, D. The correct answer is low pass. Calculate the output voltage if V1 0V and V2 0.2V, A 0V, B 6.6V, C 4V, D 2V. The correct answer is 6.6V. Determine the output voltage when V1 V2 1V, A 0V, B 2V, C 1V, D 2V. The correct answer is 2V. An example of an instrumentation circuit is an A DC voltmeter, B display driver, C AC voltmeter, D all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Determine the output voltage. A 10 V2 Vi, B 10 V2 V1, C 10 V1 V2, D none of the above. The correct answer is 10V to V1. How many op-amps are required to implement this equation? A2, B3, C4, D1. The correct answer is 1. Calculate the output voltage if V1 33 mV and V2 2 mV. A0 V, B 6.6 V, C 0.4 V, D2 V. The correct answer is 0.4 V.